Yes people, what is happening, how are we all doing, and welcome back to the channel. In this video here today, we're going to be doing a full review of the Anarchy Acres bundle in Lego Fortnite. This is the first time I've done anything like this. It's going to be a very kind of chilled out review where I'm going to showcase everything for you, go through some ratings, show you some unique details, and generally just kind of talk about whether or not I think that you should be buying this Lego kit. So without further ado then, let's kick things off. I have already got everything built here so I can showcase literally every single thing in this bundle for you. We have 3 different major buildings as part of the Anarchy Acres bundle. Off the top of my head, I've got absolutely no idea of the names. We've got the Anarchy Barn Classic, the Anarchy Loft Barn, and the Anarchy Barn Deluxe. And as you can see, they're all pretty big. The only things you need in order to build them is planks and wood, I think. Let me just check for you. Yeah, planks and wood is the only thing you need to build all of these buildings, and it varies in terms of the amount, so not particularly difficult to get those in order to build these things, so that is a positive, alright? It's really easy to build. You don't need a ridiculous amount of resources. As you can see, kind of varying in sizes, slightly different sizes, with this one being the biggest. This one's possibly a little bit more unique than that one, I would say, and that one's probably the smallest over there. As you can see, interiors are pretty similar to each other. In terms of the vibe and the aesthetic inside, they're all very similar apart from the fact that the layouts are a little bit different. I'm going to go through something about that in a second to show you, but anyway, moving on, and as you can see, that is the top of this one here. So those are the 3 main buildings that you can get as part of this bundle. But as you can see, it does have a very unique feature. This has sliding doors, and I'm pretty sure up to this point in Lego Fortnite, they did not exist. I've seen people make sliding doors using thrusters and things like that, like really clever people making their own sliding doors, but they now actually exist in Lego Fortnite, I think for the first time, and you can get them as part of this bundle, and they're a really, really cool detail. Very unique way to have doors in Lego Fortnite that we've not seen up until this point. So that is the 3 major buildings that you can get, and this is every single one of the decor items that you can get as part of this bundle. If I have missed one, feel free to let me know down below in the comment section, but I think I've got them all. There's a big variety in terms of things. We've got tables, we've got dressers, benches, a few different chairs as well, which I do actually think are a really, really cool detail. I've actually built a few of these recently in my my Anarchy Acres farm kind of village, I suppose you can call it. We've got kind of a tool set here, which is a nice little detail. This is actually a lamp, by the way, but it's so small you can barely see it. Barely even see that thing. That's a little trolley for supposedly like moving stuff around. We've got a dresser here. We've got flowers. A very large number of hay bales, and I'm going to talk more specifically about them in a second. We've got this small fan heater, a scarecrow, and this wall detail right here, which is a kind of like wooden pulley. So I've put this wall here so you can really see what it looks like if you were to buy this and use it in one of your villages. It's quite a cool detail actually. But I thought the best thing to do here is showcase all of these decor items and all of these buildings as you can see them, kind of how they would be built in your world. Because let's be real, when you're looking at Lego kits in the Fortnite item shop, it's extremely difficult to tell what these would look like. The way they're showcasing them currently, because they've only just started selling them, is not the best. It's very difficult to know exactly what they're going to look like. It's just not really easy to tell. So I think this is the best way to showcase these in this video so that you can get a look, see whether you like the items, the decor items, see whether you like the buildings, and I'm going to talk more about whether I think it's good value for money and things like that in a second. But I want to touch on a detail, and that is the hay bales. All of these hay bales here, the resources that you need in order to be able to get these things is absolutely insane. In my opinion, pretty ridiculous. You need wheat to be able to build them, so you're going to have to grow a ton of wheat. But let me show you exactly how much of that you're going to need. I think they're over here somewhere. So these slightly more basic ones, you only need 20 wheat, a little bit less on that one, 16. But if you go to the bigger ones like these, you're going to need 50 wheat just to build one of these. If you're decorating a farm and you want to make it look really realistic, so you're using a ton of these hay bales, you're probably never going to have enough wheat to do that. That one's the same. That's also 50. I can't understand why they've made that high, because the amount of crops you're going to have to grow in order to just build one of these is way too high. But to be able to build numerous of them, like many, many different ones around your village, is insane. Like, I really don't know what they were thinking with that. Pretty poor decision in my opinion. But these are all of the decor items that you can get as part of the bundle. It's not a bad set, don't get me wrong. I think we've had better ones with other Lego kits, but it's definitely not a bad one. So as I said as well, we've got the 3 buildings here, all with their own kind of slightly different layouts. The style of them all, it obviously is very similar because they all fit the Anarchy Acres theme, but they all just do look a little bit different from the outside and a little bit different from the inside too. But they are very, very good buildings. And so, exactly how much does this cost? 800 V-Bucks. So 800 V-Bucks for the 3 Anarchy Acres buildings and all of the decor items that you can see here. In terms of value for money, I think the value for money is pretty good with this one. I haven't actually counted the decor items, and truthfully, I can't be asked to sit here and count them all up, but I'd say, looking at it very quickly, it's probably somewhere in the region of 20 to 25. 20 to 25 decor items, 3 buildings like that for 800 V-Bucks is really good value for money. When you compare that to a few other things in Lego Fortnite, when you compare that to the previous kits we've had, say the Der Burger ones, that had 3 big buildings and a load of decor items, and it was somewhere in the region of 3 times the price, I think. And don't get me wrong, those buildings might have been a little bit more impressive, but this is really good value for money in my opinion. One of the best kind of values for money that we've had with all of the Lego stuff they've added into the game. You can also compare this to the most recent Bright sort of decor pack they've dropped. I can't quite remember the name of it. It's like Bright Deluxe or Bright something along those lines. Either way, it's 800 V-Bucks and you get a small number of decor items. Probably less than this number right here. And don't get me wrong, they look very cool. Like, people like the Bright Bomber theme, but for 800 V-Bucks, the value for money for that is nowhere near as good as this. This, in terms of value for money, is probably one of the best ones we've had. Aside from the hay bales, it's not too difficult to be able to build the vast majority of these items. The vast majority of it is things like wood, planks, wooden rods. There is some slight changes with these kind of things, but it's nothing insane. It's nothing that's too difficult. It's nothing that, if you're in your survival world, is going to cause you too many problems. The vast majority of people are kind of in the late game of Lego Fortnite, so they've got quite a lot of resources, but the only thing that will cause you some real problems in terms of building in your survival world is these hay bales. They 100% need to change what it takes in order to build those. If people are buying this Lego kit for 800 V-Bucks, nobody's going to want to go into their survival world and grow wheat for like 2 weeks straight in order to build these things. It just seems like madness to me. But as for everything else, not too bad. And it's an interesting set of items, some ones that I'll definitely be using in the future, some really, really good ones. And as I mentioned, the buildings are really strong, good value for money. I like the fact that it does have those very unique sliding doors. So again, if you're into custom building and you really like to kind of change the doors that you're using, if you go with these particular pieces, you can obviously use those ones, and it does have the normal kind of like standard doors as well. Although the value for money is very, very good, as I mentioned, I wouldn't necessarily say these buildings are as exciting as some of the previous ones we've had. They're far more basic, obviously being wood structures. They're not as interesting as the Der Burger buildings. I do quite like the Beachside Boulevard ones. Those are good. I would say those are a little bit better than these. And you've also got the Lion Knight's Castle ones as well. And those are kind of crazy, insane, massive things that, again, are far more impressive than these in terms of how they look. But obviously, those bundles are far more expensive too. So value for money wise, very, very strong. If I was to give this bundle as a whole a rating out of 10, I think I would probably go for a 6 out of 10. And the only reason I'm not going a little bit higher is the buildings aren't necessarily that exciting. They are fairly basic. They don't have the details of the things like the Der Burger set have and that. And the decor items, as you can see here, are good, but nowhere near the strongest that we've ever had. There are far more interesting things that you get with the Lion Knight's Castle and the Der Burger bundle, which just feel like more effort's put into them. These are a lot more basic, but then again, they do fit the kind of farm feel that we've got with this bundle. But overall, a 6 out of 10 for this I don't think is too bad. And as I mentioned, if you're looking for something a little bit cheaper with really good value for money, this is definitely a bundle to go for, because the other ones are somewhere in the region of 2 to 3 times the price. And with that said, ladies and gentlemen, that is pretty much everything that I've got for you in this video right here. If you do have any questions about the set, about any of the items, feel free to ask me down below in the comment section, and I will do my best to answer those questions for you. That is pretty much everything I've got for this video right here. I guess I'll see you guys in the next one, and peace out.